Hello,
And
everyone,
it's
and welcome back to Radio Tony. I have an amazing interview with Miss Gia Ye this morning, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Miss Gia before we introduce her live to the audience. So, Miss Gia is from the originally from her parents were from Jamaica, and her mother is of African descent. And she discovered reggae music later in life, and it's her mission to promote her new love, which is a brand of soulful reggae music. The the female singer-songwriter, whose father hails from Jamaica, ultimately found her voice through writing and singing her own songs. She loves the whole reggae vibe, everything about it. So it's kind of spiritual for Gia. Music is her therapy, and reggae has helped her through the wake of many challenges. Her father was a Jamaican Chinese and her mother African descent, and the thought of becoming a reggae music artist didn't enter her mind until much later in life. Gia's belief that it's never too late to find your voice, speak your truth, and follow your heart, and it led to her latest pursuit. Writing from a personal perspective and singing from the heart, she aims to connect globally, hoping to reach the hearts of others in a meaningful, thought provoking, and uplifting way. In 2017, Gia released her self titled EP, Gia Yi, established her career as a solo artist, and by the start of 2018, Gia was back in the studios of Jamaica recording and producing her first full length album. It was a huge milestone for Gia, and as it had, as she had so much to say. Scheduled as a 2018 end of summer release, Gia chose the title Reggae Prescription for her new LP, as she felt the title was representative of her transformational experience. Staying true to reggae and with her smooth signature reggae fusion artist style, the new album tracks incorporate Gia's unusual soul filled messages of hope, awareness, familial and societal issues, and the dynamics, um, universal and personal truths, growth, and love. She's excited about her music and her first full length album and the career as a female reggae artist. Gia expresses her heartfelt gratitude to many renowned Jamaican musicians and vocalists and harmonists who've provided their talents for her production, giving a special thanks and mention to her co producers, Mr. Kirk Gale and Mr. Wayne Holness. Those efforts and enterprise helped to facilitate the LP production and bring her latest music project to life. So I'd like you all to welcome to the Radio Tony stage today, Miss Gia. Good morning, Gia. Good afternoon for you.
Yes, good morning, Tony. Thank you so much for having me, and good morning to all of your viewers, your listeners, your whole
Thank
audience
you.
worldwide.
Oh, thank you. I have had a bit of an association with James Toussaint that we both know and who connected us together. And the people that he's connected with me to interview on Radio Tony have just been beautifully unique and fascinating souls. And Miss Gia, you are no different. So I want to talk quickly. What we're going to do, listeners, is I'm going to talk quickly to Gia and then we're going to get her to sing her latest song, New Haiti. But before we do that, Gia, you discovered reggae kind of a bit later in life. Has that made the journey all that much sweeter for you?
I think yes, actually. Yeah, I started in my 50s. I was 52 when I first went into the recording studio, and although I don't feel my age, it
And you
did.
don't look it.
Thank you. It gave me I was a little worried if I would be accepted, but what I thought was nice was I had so much experience behind me with just life in general. I had a lot to talk about, a lot to draw up on, a lot of experiences. So I don't think it's been a hindrance um,
Uh-huh.
in any way. Yeah, and I've met such wonderful people, and the interesting thing about the music business is at any age, music speaks to all hearts, young and old, and
Yes.
music artists are from young to, you know, 60s, 70s, 80s. You're never too old for
Yeah.
music or
Gia, was
to
it
sing to.
were you a bit worried about entering the music scene in your midlife? Was that a scary thing, or was it just a natural progression of your self-development and learning?
You know, it the only thing that was a little scary was putting my voice out there and
Yes.
voicing my opinion through song. I wasn't sure how that would be received
Uh-huh.
completely, because, messages are subjective,
Yes.
and I wasn't just writing about, bubble gum in the weather. It was more a little
Oh,
more
life, real
thought-provoking.
life. Yeah.
Real
Yeah.
life, real life. So that was the only thing that made me a little nervous, I'd say.
Yeah.
But other than that, the experience has just been incredible. From working in the studio to working with all the different musicians and producers and engineers and talents from, well, mostly in Jamaica, but in the
Yes.
US as well. It's just been enlightening, enriching, and inspiring.
You can see the joy and love that it brings to you. It's written all over your face, which is just a lovely thing to see. And I'm I'm wondering, so obviously you've always sung, but this is the first time you've done a foray into professionally singing and putting yourself out there. Again, what sort of journey did you have to take to get to this point?
Actually, it's funny because I really never did sing before I walked into the
Yeah.
studio that one time. That was the first. Yeah, most of my life had been raising my family, and I
Yes.
had some other entrepreneurial endeavors. So I created and invented some products. I did a
Yes.
little bit of real estate. I had my hand in a little bit of everything business wise.
Yes.
So even though I loved music, I was like your typical lover of music where you sing in the shower, maybe in your car, but
Uh-huh.
not in front of people, and definitely not
Wow.
in the recording
Wow.
studio. So that was my first, yeah, that was my first experience. My first time even like holding onto a microphone and sing.
That
So
takes
yeah.
enormous courage, doesn't it? Like, and for those that are listening today, that I just want to reinforce the fact that you can do anything that you want to do, and age should never be a barrier. And I guess that's why Gia and I have had such wonderful conversations, is because I too discovered a love for radio in my 50s. And I too had never stepped before a microphone to do what I do, but I love it. And that's where Gia and I are in complete sync, that we are in the middle of our lives, discovering something that we loved and just doing it because we love it and because we're passionate. Now, Gia, before I get you to sing your amazing song, I want you to tell the listeners your music is a fusion of sorts. Can you tell our listeners about that, please?
Yes, although it's reggae based,
Yeah.
because stayed true to reggae roots, I like to fuse all different types of genre in with the reggae. I was raised in the States mostly and grew up in, the 60s and the 70s when I was my young formative years. So
Yes.
I just fell in love with jazz, classic vinyl. Oh, aside from reggae, I there and even now today, a little
Yes.
EDM. I try and mix a little bit of funk, a little just R&B, little bits and flavors of everything in with the reggae.
So it's actually very uniquely Gia. and Gia's music, isn't it?
Yeah, I try and keep it as
Yeah,
original as I possibly can.
yeah,
What's just kind of comes out of my head or my heart at the time or what I'm feeling, the flavor is of each particular song.
yes,
So each particular song has its own little flavor.
amazing.
Yeah, and you
So
know, I
Gia,
wanted to add something.
yes,
When you
please.
were talking about doing what you love and finding an age not being an obstacle because you can do it at any age, I think one of the things too, not only do we love it, but we found fulfillment and purpose in it because it's not just for us.
Yes,
Our mission is to
greater.
share and reach others. And that just makes it all click and
Wonderful.
work.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Now, Gia, we've got a special treat for our listeners today, and Gia's agreed to sing her new song, New Haiti, live on the show today. Now, I've never done this before, and I'm really privileged that Gia agreed to do this. So, without any further ado, Ms. Gia Yi with her new song, New Haiti. Over to you, Gia.
Thank you. And I'm going to sing this just a cappella with my music in the background for everybody.
Perfect.
Enough has happened in the past. Fast approaching is a brand new day. Present times are hard and fast. This mass oppression, it must dissipate. The Lord has heard his people's tears. A new day comes with no more fear. Once divided, now unite. A new Haiti in a bright new light. Once divided, now unite. A free world with just sovereign might. Brokenness was brought within the sails of those who's conquering. Lust and envy, greed and pride, a raw deal and a pack of lies. The Lord has heard his people's tears. A new day comes with no more fear. Once divided, now unite. A new Haiti in a bright new light. Once divided, now unite. A free world with just sovereign might. Preserved through strength and unity, angels lifting up the feet of those who hold on to God's light. Stand and hold on tight. Injustice and iniquity cease to bring a remedy. Once divided, now unite. New Haiti in a bright new light. Once divided, now unite. A free world with just sovereign might. Once divided, now unite. A free world with Jehovah's light. Enough has happened in the past.
Oh, wow. Gia, that's amazing. What a beautiful song. Thank you so much for singing that live on
Oh,
the show. Now, Gia, I really want to delve into why you wrote the song and what it means for you and New Haiti.
Mm, well, as you spoke about James Toussaint, who is the founder of this whole new Haiti organization. He came to me, and I was so on board because it was such a wonderful charitable effort
Yeah.
to bring not only awareness but restoration and revitalization to Haiti, who really, like in my song, just has had a raw deal, just from lust and envy and pride of all these outsiders that in the past had come and just really obviously did not have Haiti's best interest in mind. And Haiti
Yes.
is just such an wonderful country with strong, vibrant, talented, rich history and culture and people. And they bonded together, they unified, and they created their independence. They fought
Yes.
for their independence. And they essentially have been punished for it in and it's just so it's so not right.
Distressing.
And it's very, I really believe that Haiti has not only a story to tell the world, but with their victory and then their oppression and now their revitalization and their restoration, if they with as they rise with God and with unity and with spirit and faith,
Yes.
um, it's gonna send a message to the whole entire world. And I know the whole entire world is gonna be rooting for them,
Yeah.
and it'll make a big difference globally when this happens. So I was just extremely thrilled that James came to me and asked if I could be a part of the project and this concert.
Yes.
Um, and so
Gia, can you quickly
that's
tell
what
our listeners about the concert, when and where?
okay, the concert's going to be online in the midst of everything that's going on. It's going to be an online concert, which I think actually will be wonderful because online you can reach so many people from all over the
Over the
world. You
world.
don't have to go to one location. It will be on April 24th at 7 p.m. And all the details are soon to come.
Yes.
James isn't releasing all of the details just yet. He's just kind of putting things together, but it's going to be quite a concert. So
Fantastic.
7 p.m. April 24th.
Wonderful. Um, we will, for our listeners and those watching this interview, we will have those contact details under the link at the bottom of the show. We'll also have contacts how you can get to speak to Gia if you want to know more about her music, also where you can purchase her music, and in particular the new EP, New Haiti. Now, Gia, I really appreciate you coming on Radio Tony today and taking the time to tell us about what you're doing and the projects you have on the moment. Before we run out of time, what's next for Gia? Aside from the concert, what do you see developing for you in 2021?
Mm, I see this almost as a new beginning. I know that we've all been through some challenging times this past year. We've all kind of stepped back. We've had to regroup a little bit, rethink things, and what's really important and what matters most to us. Um, this has given me a chance, especially with writing the New Haiti, a New Haiti for the New Haiti project. Um, I want to create more music that lifts
Yes,
God up. I really want to get into some more praise and worship, but stay within, you know,
the reggae.
my
Your
reggae fusion
yes,
style.
yes.
Hmm.
I love that. I love that
Yeah.
terminology, Gia, the reggae fusion. It's just it sounds almost good enough to eat, if that makes sense. Um, a beautiful song, New Haiti, and I encourage our listeners to jump on and have another listen and listen to Gia's beautiful voice and that beautiful reggae fusion that she loves. Gia, thank you for being on Radio Tony today. I appreciate your time and particularly for doing the one-off, never been done before, live singing. It was fantastic, and I'm so grateful you did that for me. This indeed is to help raise awareness of what's going on in Haiti. And as Gia and I spoke before about James Toussaint and his efforts to raise the awareness of what's been happening, what has happened, and what we need to do to support Haiti in rising up from what they've been through. Gia Yi, thank you so much for being on Radio Tony today.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Thank you to all your listeners. Thank you. God bless.
And that, my friends, is all for today. Bye for now.